she had encountered. The trouble was, she had to know for certain. Herman Carter, the man who had stolen body parts from the dead to sell on the black market, was the sole person on this planet who might be able to help her find the answers she sought. However hard she had searched to find the facts some other way, ultimately she had realized this was her only choice. He was her final hope. The thought of living with the uncertainty was something she was not prepared to do. Too much hinged on knowing the whole truth. "Is that why you're here after all this time?" Herman asked, a spark of hope lighting his dark eyes. "Did my words persuade you to forgive me?" Rowan clenched her jaw long enough to restrain the urge to laugh in the man's face. Forgive him? Not in this lifetime. All those weeks and months she had ignored his attempts at communicating. She had fully expected to continue on that course. Then, the day before yesterday, she had hit a wall, run out of viable options for finding answers. With no other alternative, she reluctantly began to open the letters and read each one twice. They told her nothing useful. Rather, his words had repeatedly expressed how deeply sorry he was and how desperately he wanted her forgiveness. Forgiveness was the one thing she could not give him. Beneath the table that separated them, her right knee started to bounce. She braced against the outward display of her emotions and said what needed to be said. No. The optimistic gleam that had appeared in his eyes died an abrupt death. Then why are you here? I'm here for information. Rowan squared her shoulders and stared straight into his defeated gaze. You owe me the truth, Herman. The whole truth. He shook his head, turned up his shackled hands. I've told you and the police everything I did. I don't know what else I can do. If only the issue were so simple. I don't need the truth about what you did, Herman. We know what you did. His shoulders drooped. I don't understand what you're saying, Ro. I did bad things, but never at Dupont, never. It was Woody who crossed that line, not me. I wouldn't have done that to Edward. And it only happened once. Even if Woody hadn't ended up dead, I guarantee you he wouldn't have done that again. Really? She was supposed to be grateful he did his stealing from the dead at another funeral home? Unbelievable. Focus, Ro. Sticking with her agenda was imperative. The chief of police had allowed her this extended visit with Herman for that specific purpose. She wasn't allowed to discuss the ongoing criminal case with Herman. Not that she had any desire to do so. The chief, her longtime friend William Billy Brannigan, had allowed her to use this interview room rather than the usual visitation area with the metal bars and plexiglass. Today could very well be her one chance to speak with Herman in this sort of setting. The elderly man was likely going away for the rest of his life. Aim for the emotions. My father considered you family, Herman. You meant a great deal to him. She moistened her lips. To both of us. Edward meant a great deal to me. You mean the world to me, Ro. His words were true. Rowan heard the sincerity in his tone, saw it in his face. I've found quite a few disturbing notes in my mother's journals. I'm convinced my parents were keeping a number of troubling secrets. I want to know what those secrets were. We all have secrets, Ro. Even you. He gave her a knowing nod. It's part of being human. Anger whipped through her before she could stop it. None of my secrets involve murder. I'm certain you can understand how uncovering those sorts of secrets is of particular importance under the circumstances. Circumstances. More frustration and anger swirled inside her. The circumstances involved a serial killer. One of the most prolific serial killers in recorded history. One who less than a year ago had been her dear friend, Dr. Julian Addington.